Nice. Okay, hang on just a minute, please. But we're going to move on with the agenda, but I'd like for you to sit for just a few minutes with us yet here. Um, Let me share with you from the mayor's perspective what the city's doing. Um, and it's interesting to me that the number of people we have in the audience, the overwhelming thing that I've heard tonight is parental control. Uh, and I will tell you, as a kid, I needed attention myself, but I also knew that if my parents weren't at home, then Mrs. Carpenter, and I call this the Mrs. Carpenter rule for my kids, Mrs. Carpenter, who lived down the street, knew everything about what I was supposed to be doing, my brothers and sisters, my neighbors. She was on watch, and we didn't call it neighborhood watch at that time, but we knew it was Miss Carpenter watch. And we knew that, and we knew right from wrong, but times are different to a certain extent. And let me tell you, there is one Raytown. And this kind of action that we're seeing is not the Raytown that is acceptable to the people at this board, and we're going to do something about it, and we need your help. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about that. We have already met last week with a cross-section of the neighborhood and the community. We brought people from our school system, we brought the police together, we brought aldermen together, city administrator, myself. We had people from the Interfaith Alliance, our churches were represented, our Human Relations Commission representatives were there as well. We identified probably 20 different things that we could do as a community together, because I don't think it's a city issue, it's a community issue. The city can help make sure that police are there. You, the citizens, have voted in by a 57% majority a public safety sales tax. We are implementing what you ask us to do. We have stepped up police patrols in the area. We have focused a lot of attention in that area. We've also addressed what can be done from the Parks and Recreation side. We have heard what you've said about the different parks. We understand that you want parks facilities for these kids to go to. And I will tell you that, last week there was an event, the Derby, the fishing derby. There were a lot of people at that event, and the park was full of people, and it was good. It was good playtime. People were having a good time. So there are things that we as a city can do and are doing. I want to assure you of that. We're also calling upon, again, our Interfaith Alliance, the churches in our communities. I know that the church I belong to, we reached out and we're doing summer lunch programs. This is something else. We talked about the schools are out this summer. These kids need something to do, but they also need to know that somebody cares about them in their communities. So I'm going to ask our churches in this community to join with the city and to help us combat this issue by reaching out to these youth and the parents of these youth that need attention. The neighbors, you need to be Mrs. Carpenter or Mr. Carpenter. You have to report what's going on, and tonight I'm hearing that you're doing that. We have to have that report. I know that it's difficult. I know that there's fear of retaliation, but you need to trust your city and your police to know that we've got your back. And the police officers in this city are the best in the metropolitan area. They've got your back, and I want you to be assured of that. These kids, and frankly, some of the parents of these kids, need role models. That's a lot of you sitting in the room tonight. You are role models whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. Everything you do, every store you go to, somebody's watching you to see how you act in the store, how you act in the aisle, how you carefront people, how you conduct yourselves. Youth are watching you. You become a role model. That's what these kids are needing. And frankly, some of the parents of these kids need role models. The schools are helping us also. The schools are very, very good about identifying who these problem youth are within the system. We are engaged with the school system to identify who these children are, who these youth are, who frankly the laws and the judicial system do not permit us much to do under the age of 15 or 16 with those kids. It's sad that the jails and the judicial system is full and can't handle that. So it falls back on the community. But again, the schools are playing a vital part of this. Unfortunately, the schools, Spring Valley, I know that they've had to take their backboards down. What a shame. I mean, again, when I was a kid, we were playing sandlot football and baseball up in those fields all the time. Basketball goals were where we hung out. I hate to see the schools take those goals down, but they're having property damage also, and we have to respect that. So the schools are helping us. The schools are letting us know who these kids are. The schools are helping us get to those parents. We're going to have a meeting with the parents, and frankly, I'd like to have some of you at that meeting as well to talk to them, because I want them to know there is one Raytown. There's not two Raytowns. There's one Raytown. That kind of action is not going to be permitted, and we're going to do something about it. Now, with that, again, I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. We had a meeting last week. We're hoping to have another meeting next week. Those that were in attendance at that meeting have received packets about all the different programs that the city has available to them, all the different neighborhood watch programs. If you're an association member, if you want to start a homeowners association, group, that is available through this city. We can help you with that. If you want to start a neighborhood watch program, and they are effective, if taken care of by those neighbors, we can help you with that. And a number of you have asked for that, and a number of programs have already been listed by the police, and we're starting to work with that. So that's what's going on in the community, and I want you to know that. I want you to be assured that this board, this city, our police, our parks department are doing what we can. The schools are helping us, the churches are helping us, all the different organizations are helping us, and we will take care of this matter. And I appreciate you coming out tonight. We're going to take a quick recess. I think some of the board might want to visit with you individually. Mahesh, I'm going to ask you to hold off on your comments until we come back, if that would be okay. Sincerely, thank you. You're very respectful. The people in this room are those that we need to rely on to help us make sure that there is one city of Raytown. Thank you very much. Take a brief